Crafternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Stampin' Chat premiere. Today we're not actually live. This is a pre-recorded video, and we are in the comments chatting with you. Tom had something to do this afternoon, and so he couldn't be in the studio live, so we thought we'd have a fun premiere, and we always enjoy that because we get to chat in the comments with you. So welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to make a fruit salad card of sorts. I'm going to be using the brand new Good Life kit, and I'm going to be using the Good Life stamp set and making a little mixed cocktail drink, which I think is always so much fun. It can be used for any kind of card, whether it's retirement, birthday, wedding, anytime you want to say cheers, and I think you're going to like today's video. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Happy Crafternoon, everybody.
How are you?
I'm better than horrible. Hey, what do you mean I'm not here? I'm here. It's confusing.
Well, you're here on the video, but you're here in spirit during the premiere.
I've got a word of the day tying in with your adult beverage theme.
Ooh, awesome. All right, well, I can't wait to hear that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Tom, I think you're going to like this card.
I think so, too.
And it's got some of your colors in it, too.
All right.
All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the kit. And for those of you that have the kit, this is what the kit looks like. And I am going to be using this stamp set, which is called the Good Life. I'm also going to be using the coordinating dies. And then this does not come in the kit, but I'm going to be using it anyway. It is the Twirl-it Check stencil. That was an add-on that you could purchase along with the kit when we released it. And I thought that I would make a really fun card using some of the drinks in here. So I'm going to start by doing a little bit of stamping. So I have a Misty here, and I'm going to stamp these mixed drinks on a piece of white cardstock. And I think I'm going to make this one a birthday card. I think it would make a cute retirement card too, but I thought I would use the cheers to another year greeting because that is just a perfect birthday greeting. So I'm going to use this one, which I think is like a martini, and then this one, which is definitely like a margarita, and then this one, which kind of feels like a daiquiri. All right, or a pina colada maybe. And then I definitely want to use cheers to another year. So I'm going to stamp the drinks first to make sure that I get those all stamped. And I want to make sure that I can stamp it a second time if I want to. So I'm going to be using some black onyx ink for this because I'm going to be coloring these with Prismacolor Pencils and Gamsol. Now you can also color these with Copic markers or watercolor, whatever you want to color them with. But you know me, I love my colored pencils, love my Gamsol. That looks pretty good, actually. And then I'm going to stamp this greeting down here. And we're just going to color this. Oh, that looks good. I think I'll stamp the greeting one more time. And then I could use, I'm going to make like a postage kind of themed card for this. And I could use the Master Layouts 14 for this and put this into one of the small boxes. But I think I'm going to use Master Layout 16 for this and just have like a row of drinks going across the top. We'll see. I might trim them apart. I'm not really sure yet. Sometimes I like to do that. I like to just trim the postage stamps apart and kind of stagger them. So we'll kind of see how this all lays out. Now, the idea of which drink to do in what color. So since they all have a little bit of citrus attached to them, I feel like they should be all in citrus colors. So I pulled a couple colored pencils that I like here, but I'm not sure which one is going to look the best. So I pulled a couple yellows. I have this one, which is Sunburst Yellow, and oh, there we go again. And then this light yellow. I think I like the Sunburst Yellow. I feel like that's going to be more dramatic on the card. Then for greens, I picked a couple here. I picked Kelly Green and Spring Green. but spring green feels a lot more lime. And Kelly green might be good for some shading. And then for oranges, I picked orange. Boy, somebody must have not been in the mood that day to name a color. And this is pale vermilion. So they could be shaded together, but I think my main colors are going to be orange, sunburst yellow, and spring green. They seem like the best colors for these drinks. Now I am going to be coloring these today using some Gamsol and some blending stumps. And I have a few blending stumps here. These have been sitting out on my desk since my last Gamsol video. And I'm going to add a little bit of Gamsol into this cup. Now, Gamsol is an odorless mineral spirits. If you don't have Gamsol where you're located, you can always look for something that's called artist grade odorless mineral spirits. If you are sensitive to this, you can use lavender spike oil or Zest It. Those are two other products that work really well. Some people have luck with baby oil. I personally don't like it because the baby oil never really seems to dry completely for me. Plus, the smell of baby oil sticks with the card, where the Gamsol evaporates and it doesn't smell anymore. So it's kind of your choice what you want to do. But I tend to either go with the Gamsol, the lavender spike oil, or the Zest It. Now I'm going to get a little piece of cardstock here that I can just put under this. And then I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. There we go, so you can see this. Now I think I'm going to make this one yellow. This feels like some sort of lemonade kind of drink. And I did kind of break my point off, so I'm going to just sharpen it by rolling it while I color it. I do have a pencil sharpener here, but that'll work. So I'm going to color this around the perimeter. I want to get it nice and vibrant. Okay, let's get it down here. This is definitely some sort of lemony kind of daiquiri, or maybe some sort of lemon frozen drink. It could be a hard lemonade frozen drink. I don't know, but I like the citrus theme, so I wanted to kind of stick with that. And then I am going to color the lemon part in here. Just going around the perimeter a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to use the Gamsol. So I cleaned off a blending stump. And the way to clean these off is just to take something like a nail file, or if you've got a little bit of sandpaper or something, and just kind of sand it while you're turning it. And that allows you to keep that point as pointy as possible. And then I'm dipping my blending stump into the Gamsol to let some of the Gamsol absorb into the blending stump. Now we do carry these blending stumps in our store. They're by Creative Mark and I love them. They're absolutely my favorite. I feel like they give you the best blending because they're a little bit porous. So they allow the Gamsol to kind of seep into them, and they don't dry out very quickly. I'm going to put a little colored pencil down here too. So I'm kind of keeping a little whitish spot in the center there. And then I'm going to take whatever's on there and just do it over the straw so you can see the straw looks just a little bit colored in. Now, if you want to add a deeper color into that, let me see if I can find one here that would be appropriate. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of this. Just a little bit, kind of, maybe around the base here. Just to deepen it. That could work. I don't want it to be too orange because I'm definitely making an orange one, so. But I think that helps give it a little bit of shading. And then we're going to go in here and just soften that up. And then I'm just going to go over the whole thing with whatever's on the blending stump. So this way the outside is a bit darker than those inside ones. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm not doing anything fancy with the rest of the glass. We're just going to keep it white and clear. Now, I feel like a regular margarita, I think we could do with the green. So this is going to be spring green. And I'm going to go ahead and color some of this on the side. How do you like these drinks, Tom?
Quite refreshing.
That's what I think too. All right, so again, I'm just coloring a little bit there. And then I could even use that same blending stump that has the yellow on it, because that will add a little bit of yellow into that green and maybe make it look even a little bit more like lime. And see how it just kind of blends out, and whatever's left on that stump is kind of yellowish in there. I kind of like that look.
Melon ballish.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a melon ball, right? And then whatever is left on there, I'm just going to go over the straw just to tint it a little bit. Now, I think for this, I might go with this Kelly green around the outside. These are tiny little designs, so you don't really need a whole lot of coloring skills here. And I'm going to take that same blending stump, whatever Gamsol is on there, just to soften out that green. And then I'm going to go inside with the lighter green. That's kind of fun. Making that a little bit more two-toned, and then just blending that so it just gets a little smooth. It kind of removes some of my pencil strokes. All right, so there we've got our melon martini, or I think it's a margarita. That's a lime margarita. Okay, and then my final one is going to be some sort of orange martini, because this is definitely like a martini glass. I don't know. The way I'm talking, it sounds like I drink every weekend. I don't. But I am mesmerized with how pretty mixed drinks can look sometimes, you know? So I'm going to go ahead around this one. We can darken that up if we need to with that darker pencil I showed you earlier. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. Definitely going to get a new blending stump for this. So I have to just dip it in there for a minute. Couple seconds. You just don't want to plop it in and pull it right back out, because you want to let some of that Gamsol absorb into it. Okay. And then we'll go around the perimeter here. And it's okay if some of it gets inside the wedges, because we're going to go just over that anyway. And if we want, let's see, maybe I will go a little bit darker around the outside here. Just to brighten that up a bit. And then again with the blending stump, just to smooth that out. And then I can just, whatever's left on the brush, just rub all over that. So that's kind of fun. I really like that. Okay, so there are my 3 cocktails. All right, so my next step now, let's back out a bit here. My next step is going to be to cut these out. So I'm going to cut these out with my die cutting machine and the coordinating dies. I am going to use my magnetic plates for this to make it a little bit easier. And I'm using my Intracut die cutting machine. All right. So let's see here. Should I try to cut them all out at once? Should I be brave, or should I do them one at a time. Let's see, maybe we could cut them all out at once. Let's see. So these are pretty easy to figure out which one goes with which. So that looks pretty good. And then this one is the margarita. Okay, and then the daiquiri style glass. Now where is my daiquiri? Here it is. No, that's not it. Did I lose my daiquiri die? Oh no. I know I had it. Oh no, here it is. Right in front of my face. I'm sure that you guys are telling me in the chat. It's right there, it's right there. All right. So I'm going to cut these out all at once. There we go. Hopefully they cut well. It's always a little bit more scary when you have already colored everything and then you cut than when you cut first, because if you don't nail it, you can always redo it, but you know. Oh, they look good. I think they look pretty good. And I'm going to be actually popping these up onto those postage stamp images, so I think they look pretty good. And now we're going to do Cheers to Another Year. And I don't know, is this the die? Yes, it is. So we're going to cut that out just so that that is popped up as well. I think I moved the die a little bit. Let's just get it right into place. The magnetic mat is so helpful though, not needing to have tape on there or masking magic. It does really help quite a bit. And you know me before, I didn't like to cut more than one image out at a time. So this makes it easier for me to cut more than one image out at a time. And if you ever can't get your piece off of there, this mat is very flexible, so you could just kind of bend it and that'll help you pick it up. Sometimes they get stuck on there because it presses so hard. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to cut, let me put these away so we don't lose any dies. The next thing I want to do is I want to cut the Master Layouts 15. I want to use this piece and this piece right here. Now, I don't know if I'm going to follow through on this piece, so we'll see. But I'm going to cut it anyway since I have the die cutting machine out. And then if I change my mind, you know, that's not a big deal. So let's cut this one out first in white. We'll cut that. And I'm going to just tighten it a tiny bit just because it is a long die. Let's see if I've got a decent cut out of that. Well, I think so. Looking good. All right. Sometimes you need your pick and stick tool to get the tiny circles out. There it is. That's such a cute die. And this one is a little bit different than Master Layouts 14. The dots are a little bit bigger in between. And these are a little bit thinner than the Master Layouts 14. So these postage stamps are a little bit thinner. The ones in Master Layouts 14 are a little bit fatter. And then I'm going to poke these out real quick. Then I'm going to cut another white piece while I have this out. And I think, let's see here. I think I'm going to use Master Layouts 14. Let's grab that die out of here. I'm going to use the stitch die with Master Layouts 14, which coordinates with the plain die on Master Layouts 1. But I want the stitches, so I decided that I'm going to go with this one because I need a little bit of a bigger die than Master Layouts 2. Master Layouts 2, oh, I didn't cut that tight enough. That's all right. Let's see how it looks. There we go. Not bad. So what I'm saying is like this will fit onto here, but on Master Layouts 2, it would be like real close to the edge. So this gives me a little bit more space to work with. And if you ever don't get a good cut, you can always take your little nail file or sandpaper and just sand that down. But let me tell you, sometimes the bigger dies need to be a little bit tighter. I'm going to cut one more just to be safe, and I'll show you another thing that really helps. So first of all, let's get our mat in the right spot. It does really help if it's a little bit more on an angle like that. And then I like to tighten it up just a little bit more. And that should make it cut out completely. All right. So there we go. That's a good cut. So we'll just use that one because it's easier. I don't want to have to finagle with it too much. It's not like I can't cut a bunch of stuff out of that one, color and cut. So now this goes back into Master Layouts 14. So I need to find that. Oh, I put that over here. And then I'm going to cut some black panels now. And I'm going to use Master Layouts 1, if I can find it in my stash over here. Yes, here it is. Master Layouts 1. So this die, the larger of the two dies, so you can just hold them up against each other to see which one is the larger one. This is the larger one. This is a perfect shadow layer for that stitched die from Master Layouts 15. So 15 and 1 coordinate really nicely together if you want a little bit of a bigger panel. So I guess I still need that because I have to cut it. All right, and I'm going to use some black cardstock for that. I will need to trim a piece. So let me find my little paper cutter. I'm just going to do that off camera, just so that I don't have to move anything out of the way. There we go. So again, I kind of like to, I mean, we could try it and see. It just goes through the machine so much easier. Any machine, not just this machine, any machine. It'll go through the machine a little bit easier if you have it on an angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I like doing it that way. It does use a little bit more cardstock, but it does, once again, it makes it easier. Let me get my machine a little closer to me here. I have it really tight. So sometimes when it's really tight, you have to give it a little shove to get through. Ooh, and I hope that works because I was very close to the edge here. We'll see. Yeah, that worked. Okay, and you'll see what I mean, how these two work just like Master Layouts 2, except a little bit bigger. So I love that. Alrighty, now I'm going to cut this one. This is the plain die from Master Layouts 15. I'm going to cut this one. Let me put this one back in one. If I don't put them back right away and then I'm going live and I pull out the set and I can't find it, that's not a good thing. So we want to make sure that I need to make sure that I put them away. Okay. And so this is the perfect little shadow for this postage die. And you can see them by using the bigger one, you've got a little bit more room on there so you can see a little bit of the edges that way. Okay, so like I said, I'm not 100% sure that I'm even going to use this way. I may actually trim them apart, but I want to lay it all out and see how it looks. Now, before I do that, I want to add a little bit of stenciling behind here, and I want to use the Twirl-it Checks stencil. So, let's see. I think if I went with some yellow and green back here. That would be kind of nice, very fruity and fun. So let me go ahead and put a little tape down here just to hold this in place. And then we're going to line this one up so that it's even side to side and even top and bottom. And the way you look for that is you want this here to match whatever's going on over here. And you want this here sticking off the edge to match whatever's sticking off the bottom. So you can take your time to figure that out. You know, if it's not perfect, especially if you're not doing the whole thing, then it really isn't that big of a deal. But it makes it a little bit easier for me to know that it's straight when I have those little guides. All right, Tom. So while I'm doing this stenciling and taping, you said you have a word of the day that you think coordinates with my card. Is that what you said?
It's time.
I think it's time, yeah. Without all the questions being answered live, my videos are always a little bit shorter, so.
Okay, with that theme of all these refreshing looking adult beverages in the cards.
Yes.
As many of your viewers, longtime viewers know, Gina occasionally will indulge in a fun fruit-based beverage.
Salad.
She calls it fruit salad.
Sounds healthier.
Fruit salad, yes. And so that's our theme for today, along with the underlying theme of the beautiful drinks. So the question is, how does Gina store her fruit salad? How does she store her fruit salad? And I'll give you a hint. It's not bottled. It's not jarred. It's not canned. Of course, it is carafe. Her fruit salad is carafe. You got that?
I do,
Is that
yes.
coming through? Okay.
Perfect for a crafter. Craft fruit salad. I like it. That's a good one. That's very cute and very apropos. I love that.
Yes.
All right.
Back to the dead space?
Back to the dead space. So I'm going to start with my first color here, and that's going to be Wild Dandelion. And I'm going to do some Wild Dandelion, nice and vibrant, but not going all the way to the edge. So just kind of like just a blur of Wild Dandelion in the center. Love, love. Okay. It's pretty bright, right? Yes. That's pretty bright. Now I'm just going to shift it over so that the actual stencil part itself is covering up those yellow ones. And I'm not even going to clean the stencil because I'm going to use Key Lime as my second color. I'm going to see how Key Lime looks. If it's not enough, I might add a little Lucky Clover in there, but I think it might be enough. So I'm going to use Key Lime as my second color, and I'm going to do that the same exact way.
It's a light hand?
I'm using kind of a heavier hand with these colors because they are very light colors to begin with. So, and I want to get that vibrant, almost neon-y kind of green. Although you could use the Electro Pops. You could use Electro Pop. You could use Hello Yellow. And you could use Screaming Green or Loud Lime for this. That'd be fun too if you have those colors. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we've got our green and our yellow back there. Isn't that fun? I love, 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 love that. That is very cute. Okay, now let me just give this a quick clean up so I can put it away. Now, if you are not sensitive to rubbing alcohol, I've been really enjoying cleaning my stencils with rubbing alcohol because it gets any stains off of them. It cleans them so quickly. And it dries super quickly too, so if you wanted to use this again right away, it's already dry and already ready to go. But if you are sensitive, then I would suggest maybe not doing that and just using soap and water, or you know, even just plain water is fine. But if it's stained, you can also use a little stamp cleaner on it, and that will get it out. All right, so I'm going to put that aside, and then I'm going to add some color onto these. So I need to fill in these little squares. So I have the stencil that coordinates. This is called Master Layouts 15 Fillers. This doesn't come with the Master Layouts die set. It's a standalone stencil if you choose to use it. And some people don't, and that's totally fine. But I'm going to use it today to add a little bit of color to the boxes. And I'm going to use, since we already have the yellow and the green that works with these, I'm going to use Sweet Mango, which I think will work with this one. So we get all of those colors within the backdrop of this card. So I have a yellow brush here. I'm going to get some Sweet Mango on my brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that Sweet Mango in there. It's soft. It's good. But it's bright and fun, sunshiny. Okay. Okay, so now we'll pull that off, and I think that is going to be really cute. So what I'm thinking is, you know, having one drink here, and then one drink here, and then one drink here. So it's fun to cut them out first so that you could just pop them up on there and give it some dimension.
Line them up.
Line them up. Right, exactly. Okay, so I want to put this together and see if I like the layout first. And if not, I may trim those apart and stagger them a little bit. We'll have to see how it all comes together here. So this is going to go on here, and then I have to pick a color for a card base. Now, I think it would be fun to play off of that Sweet Mango, and I do have some Sweet Mango here, which I think if we put these together here, that would be pretty fun and bright. So let's just take a look at this again. I think this one's going to go. Let's put this one in the first spot. And then this one, I like to, you know, switch up where the little citrus fruit is. And this would be here. And then this would get popped up right down here. So what do you think of that layout, Tom? Is that cute?
I love that. Yes.
Okay, let's do that. I think that's really cute. I will show you a card that I made where I did separate them too, just so that you get to see what that looks like. So I'm going to get my paper cutter, and I am going to cut this in half. There we go. And then I'm going to get my score buddy, and I'm going to score this card in half. So again, this is Sweet Mango cardstock. Tangerine Twist, I think, might be a little too vibrant for the color that I colored in the drink. So I think it's kind of nice to have them match as closely as possible. You can see that's a pretty good match there. Where if I had used Tangerine, I feel like that's almost too bright, and it makes this look, I don't know, it makes it look a little more dull. So I kind of feel like that's a good match. But I love that Tangerine too. Okay, so we'll put that down there. And now I'm going to put this panel onto this card base. I don't think we need this here. I'll put that aside. So I'm going to put this panel onto this card base to tie in all of that orange. This is such a sunny, fun, bright card. And you can see, so the big difference between Master Layouts 2 and this is really the amount of border that you have around the perimeter. You have a little less border around the perimeter with this, but you get more surface space so you can have more things on your card. And then we'll get that on there. Looking good. And then that could probably just go right down on the card because everything else is going to get popped up. So I'm going to use some of these small foam squares to pop everything else up, including the greeting. So the greeting is going to get popped up right down here on the side. I guess it could go in the middle too. Have to decide which way we like it best. So let me get my tweezers just in case I need them. Let's put these down first. We'll do the greeting last. So we'll get this panel all set up.
Boy, this stamping along with a postage stamp theme is like stamping squared.
I know.
It's like
right?
interdimensional stamping. It's really making me think.
It's a lot of stamps. Yeah, the stamp. I know. How many times have I said stamp today? Postage stamp. Okay, I am going to cut some more of these in half because I do need some more little skinnies. Pretty easy to do. So that one is going to go there. And then the green one. I feel like it looks so nice with the dimension. Every card needs something popped up a little bit. Did I put one down the stem? No. That's okay. I don't think I need it for this one either.
Little shadows make a difference, huh?
They do. And you know, you could color the shadow around there if you used a gray marker, if you just wanted to glue them straight onto your card base. But it is kind of nice that the natural shadow does it for you.
See, we're getting philosophical here. Little shadow in life here and there.
A little shadow.
Makes things more interesting.
Right. I agree, right?
Sometimes there's way too much interest going on, but...
Right. I agree. And then we'll put this... I'm doing the stems too. What I'm worried about is if I don't put it on the stems and then I mail the card, it might flatten out a little bit there and dent my glasses. Okay, so before I glue these down, I'm going to put this right onto the cardstock. So we want that to come down just a little bit here. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just like looking side to side to make sure it's as even as possible. And then we're going to start with the yellow one. And you could definitely put some sparkles in and around these too if you wanted. And if you want to add the postage stuff to this, you know, the 2 cents, the 5 cents, all of that, you definitely can, but it's not necessary. I mean, you could definitely just use these as cute little frame boxes, and they don't really have to be postage per se. Put this one on next.
You don't have any square or jewels, do you? Or sequins?
I don't have any square. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Little ice cubes in some of them.
Oh my gosh, Tom, that's the cutest idea ever. Now you're making me think that I might have to look for those. Little ice cubes inside. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Somebody make a card and put little sequins inside. I want to see that they look like ice cubes. All right, and it's just a matter of getting them straight up and down here. And it's okay if, you know, something extends outside of the little box. It's all right. I'm just kind of lining up the bottoms the best that I can. I do really feel like I like this off center. So I'm going to do it off center. But if you don't like it that way, you definitely can make yours centered.
I like off-centered.
You like off centered better?
Yes, it seems a bit more leisurely.
Yeah, a little off to the side, relaxing. The greeting is off to the side. Okay, so we'll just get it like right in here. We could put it right under. Should we put it right under the box, Tom? Or should we do it a little more? Which do you like better?
I like it under.
Under the box.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers to another year. Yeah, it's like your last drink of all three, and that's when you get the message. And then let's add just a few little sequins around the drinks.
Does this mean we need a vacation?
I think so. I definitely think so. You having a meeting today is not a vacation. Oh my goodness. All right, so we can put a couple sequins in here. We could even put them just around the greeting. We could do one here. We could do one up here. And we could do one just up here. Let's see how that looks first. We can use tiny ones. See if we need any more. These are nice and tiny, so we could add a few more around the drinks. So maybe we could do that. We'll do one here, one up here, one here,
Blingering.
one here. Just tiny ones. I know that's an even number, but with the 3 down here, we still have an odd number on the card, so that works. Do a big one there, bigger, and then a tiny. It's kind of nice to have the little bit of sparkle. Just get them in place. This is such a fun little card. When you have a card like this, it always feels very celebratory. It does kind of feel like a trip to the Caribbean too, doesn't it? Sitting out on your lounge chair, maybe on a cruise ship.
Very relaxing.
Yes. Okay. That's fun. A little bit of bling in the mix. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love that. That is a fun little card. Now I'm going to show you another one that I made earlier. For those of you that watched our release party, you may remember this card. Let me just move some of the things out of here. This is the way I clean up. Just push, push it out of view. Look at that. Look how clean the desk is now. I am going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see it a little bit closer there. There we go. And then here is another one that I made. I didn't put bling on this one, but on this one I used Master Layouts 14. So you can see the boxes are a little bit bigger. See, because like this one extends outside, this one fits inside. They're a little bigger. I just trimmed them apart. So, and I just staggered them that way. And I used the thin box on that Master Layouts 14 die. It's this die right here that I used. And I just actually took scissors and just cut these out and made them into separate postage stamps. And I used this one for the greeting. So 2 different ways to make a fun little mixed drink birthday card. What do you think, Tom? Which one's your favorite?
Definitely.
Come on.
No, they both look fun. I think we book one and then we go right to the next one.
Try them both out.
Both vacations, yes.
Okay. I thought you'd pick the orange one because it's got more orange in it. But, you know, I know what you're saying. I mean, they both look very festive and very fun. Oh, well, this was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Well, it was great to be able to spend a little bit of time with you today in the chat. And hey, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. All you have to do is just pop that like button, and then you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Tom and I will be back live again next Tuesday night with another Stampin' Chat Live. And until then, I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.